Good day everyone, welcome again to another episode of tax training, and our topic for this episode is tax hacks or loopholes, no? Ano itong mga hacks or loopholes na ginagamit or ginagawa ng mga tao, but precaution, no, or caution or warning. Some of these tax hacks or loopholes are punishable by law, no? So, ito pinapakita lang natin sa inyo para maiwasan at saka alam natin na pag ginawa natin dito, there is a corresponding penalties, no? But the tax hacks or the loopholes in our taxation system, ano-ano itong mga to, no? So, let's start with tax hacks or loophole number 1, no? Splitting the income. Bakit ba ini-split yung income, no? So, anong ginagawa dito sa splitting of income? Establish different companies and divide the income between them. Para hindi i-report yung malaking income sa isang company. So, ang ginagawa, magpapagawa ng iba't ibang company and then ini-split yung income doon. Anong advantages? Ano yung benefits na makukuha pagka ini-split mo yung income? To lower the tax brackets for local taxes, opportunity to double claim expenses, and also to operate as conduit of each other, no? Kasi pwede silang mag-exchange ng mga expenses, mag-exchange ng mga income. So, yun po yung advantages when you split your income in and report it in using different companies, no? So, another tax hacks or loophole is the double claim expenses, no? So, expenses of one company are also claimed by other companies. And then there is duplication of services provided by a company to another company. Na duplication na lang. Bakit? Kasi kaya namang i-provide ng internal ng isang company, pero meron pa another company na nagpo-provide. So, duplication na lang ng services. Same persons operate the group of companies, no? So, since same person yung nag-operate ng different group of companies, madali lang niyang ipasa-pasa yung income and expenses. Fictitious loans, no? So, ito yung mga loopholes. Ano yung nangyayari pag may fictitious loans? The execution of fictitious promissory notes in collaboration with financing institutions. Kasi may relationship na sila because for so long, nagkakaroon na sila ng business or commercial transactions. So, nagkakaroon ng collaboration with the financing institutions. Ano yun? Fictitious loans. Usually done at year-end, no? Hindi naman talaga ginamit yung loans, in-accrue lang nung end of the year para lumabas siya sa balance sheet, napakalaki ng utang. So, pwede siya mag-claim ng interest expenses, no? So, pagdating na ng beginning of the year, recorded as fully paid at the beginning of the next taxable year. So, walang liability talaga ang company, no? But, anong benefits nun? Claim a huge amount of interest expense. And, the examiner will not question because nandun napakalaki nga ng loans na nakalagay sa balance sheet at year-end. Next is the intellectual property hubs, no? So, there is a company which is established in a low-tax country, and then the ownership of the intellectual property is transferred to that company, and then the other companies or members of the groups are paying a huge amount of royalty payment to that IP hub or IP company. Claim royalty payment as deductions. Ito namang mga nagbabayad na other members ng group, nagbabayad po sila ng malaking royalty, nakiklaim nila na malaki yung deductions in their income tax return. Conduit companies. Ano naman po itong conduit companies? This is the establishment of conduit companies in order to continue the centralized operation, no? So, anong ginagawa dito? The inventory is owned by another company. Yung inventory, pinangalan nila or ang ownership nun, nilagay nila sa ibang company. At ano pang ginagawa? The sales collected by companies situated in low-tax country or enjoying tax benefits or holidays. Ang collection naman ng sales, nilagay nila dun sa company kung saan nandun siya sa country na mababa yun lang yung tax. So, anong nangyayari? They complicate the structure of the organization, pero yung collection kung nasaan talaga napupunta yung income doon sa country na mababa ang income tax rate. No? Ano naman po itong hedging? Hedging is a risk management strategy employed to offset losses in investment by taking an opposite position in a related asset. No? The reduction in risk provided by hedging also typically result in a reduction in potential profits. So hedging strategies typically involve derivatives such as options and for future contracts. No? So ano yung mga example po ng hedging? Ito yung mga forward contract, no? Future contract, call option, foreign currency forward contract, and embedded derivative. Ano po yung purpose dito? In order to lower the risk. So, sometimes, pumapasok sila dito, lugi, no? Sometimes, ang lugi nila, nawawala yung income, so na-lower yung payment ng taxes, no? Treaty abuses. Ano naman po nangyayari dito sa tax treaty, no? So, nagkiklaim sila ng tax treaty benefits. They establish a company in country where there is a favorable treaty benefits. O kung saan yung country na favorable yung benefits na binibigay doon sa persons, no, or citizen of that country, doon sila naglalagay ng company in order to benefit on that treaty, lower tax treaty rates, no? So, channel the income to the company before remitting it to the real owner or the beneficial owner. So, anong ginagawa? Since benefited dun sa isang country through the treaty benefits, doon muna ipasok yung income bago ipadala sa totoong may-ari ng income. Okay? Next is the discounting of accounts receivable. Paano po itong ginagawa sa discounting of accounts receivable? Ito yung discount accounts receivables to lower the rates. So, pag di-discount mo na yung accounts receivable, halimbawa, ang totoong accounts receivable mo is 10 million. Since pinadiscount mo na halimbawa 10%, so magkano na lang? 9 million. So, yung 1 million, since net na yung i-report mo sa BIR, dun ka na lang sa 9 million. So, nakatipid ka ngayon ng 1 million. Loan instead of equity. Paano po nangyari itong loan instead of equity? Ang loan, earn interest that can be claimed as deduction for tax purposes. Samantalang yung equity, earn dividend that has no effect for income tax purposes of a corporation. Pag equity ka, kahit kumita ka ng dividend, hindi affected yung net income mo. Samantalang kung mag-invest ka sa isang company at ang i-invest mo doon in the form of loan, hindi equity, hindi shares of stocks, then mag-i-earn yun ng interest, no? And then the interest can be claimed an outright deduction for tax purposes. Samantalang kung dividend, diretso na siya sa written earnings. It has no effect on the net income. Kaya wala siyang benefits when it comes to taxation. Kaya anong ginagawa? Loan ang ibigay mo sa company instead na mag-invest ka through the equity. No? Indirect dividend, ano naman po itong indirect dividend? Ito yung withdrawals of funds for other purposes, tantamount to indirect dividends. Especially yung companies na mga close, mga family corporations, no? So, withdraw lang ng withdraw yung may-ari. Yun pala, parang indirect dividend na yun, kinukuha na yung income ng company, no? So, ito lang po yung tax loopholes na binibigyan natin sa inyo na examples, although sa real world, sa real practice, napakarami pong tax hacks or tax loopholes. No? So with that, I would like to say thank you, and please subscribe to our channel. The purpose of our tax training is for you to have a better tax compliance. No? So remember po, itong ating pinag-usapan ngayon, this involves some penalties, no, na pag ginawa natin ito at magiging illegal na siya, so nagiging subject to penalties na po ng ating tax authorities. Thank you and good day.